Pet Sematary, directed by Kölsch and Dennis Widmyer, starring Jason Clarke, Amy Seimetz, and John Lithgow. Dr. Lewis Creed and his wife Rachel relocate from Boston to rural Maine with their 2 young children. The couple soon discover a mysterious burial ground hidden deep in the woods near their new home. I've been really looking forward to this adaptation of Pet Sematary because, to be quite honest, I feel that the 1989 version, although iconic in some of its imagery, is not the classic that we all like to think it is. There's quite a few of us that look at this with rose-colored glasses. The 2019 adaptation is so much better. I have never read the source material, so this is just based on the film alone. I feel like this is a major step up from the 1989 film. The overall atmosphere fits in with the overall tone of the story a lot more. It's not campy, it's not funny, it doesn't feel like an 80s soap opera. This feels like a very serious film, and it's treated as such. I also really like the cast in this film. Jason Clarke does a great job of playing Lewis Creed. This Lewis Creed by Jason Clarke really feels like an everyman. He feels like a man that is wanting to save everyone. It's this internal struggle where he feels like unless he's able to save everyone around him, then he is a failure. So a lot of this film deals with grief, how we all deal with grief. Some of us face our grief and others want to bury it and never feel like it ever happened. So there's a lot of that going on in this film, which I feel like is a lot more nuanced than the 1989 film. What I also really liked was the cinematography. This is a beautifully shot film. It feels very eerie. And at the beginning of the film, it's very bright and happy, very idyllic. The small town feels like anywhere America. And this family definitely feels that way too, which adds to the horror. The supporting cast in this film is also really fantastic. The young girl who plays Ellie specifically does a great job. And John Lithgow is fantastic as Judd. I really enjoyed his characterization. And also Amy Seimetz does a great job of the role of Rachel. She really does bring something different to the role. What I also really liked about this film is the pacing and just the overall tone of this film. It moves along pretty quickly, and yes, it is a bit of a slow burner, but there's always this sense of dread, uncertainty, and knowing that something is going to happen and that none of this is going to end well for the Creed family at all. So there's always this sense of dread as the film progresses. The tone starts out very light and happy, but when things start to shift, and at first it's the death of the family cat Church, but then when another family member dies unexpectedly, that's when not only the tone of the film from a storytelling perspective changes, but the overall way the film is shot changes as well. We go from bright colors to more dark and gray and blue. There are those tones in the film where the film becomes desaturated, and I really liked how the tone would shift. I overall really enjoyed this film. I don't have a nostalgic connection to the original film. I did watch that film a lot growing up, found it scary as a kid, don't find it scary now. With this film, I feel like it has a lot more to say, a lot more to show, and has a much better grasp of what the overall tone should be for a film like this. You're dealing with something that all of us fear, which is death, and dealing with the death of a child or a close family member. That is something that is so deep. This film really shows how deep that grief, that pain feels, which is why I'm gonna give this film an add to the collection. I feel like this has more rewatchability than the original. If I'm looking for a straight up horror film that really does delve into a character's mindset as they're going through the grief of losing a child, this is more the film that I would gravitate towards if I'm picking between the 1989 version and the 2019 version. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for coming by, and I'll see you all next time.